If you see a man that regularly wears a hat, what do you think the chances are he's either bald or balding?
I'm gonna say it's a good three quarters, 75% that he's bald or balding.
I feel like hats used to be more popular when we were growing up, and now I feel like they're mainly used for cover up the bald or the balding.
What a random question to ask, by the way.
I was just wondering because I saw a big group of guys wearing hats, and I thought to myself, I wonder how many of those guys are going bald. Listen, can you explain why you got a haircut like Biff from the military?
Okay, I don't pay 50, 80, $100 like you do, Mr. Newsman, to get your haircut.
I get a $22 haircut.
Bullshit, you do.
It's $22, right? Because I go to the guy. He doesn't speak any English. He only does like one haircut. He does a 3 on the sides and a 4 at the top. That's what he knows how to do. I'm not sure if he has a license or not, but he's there. He's reliable, and he's done in probably about 10 minutes. My opinion on hair is as long as it's there, I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah,
I don't care what the haircut looks like. Is it there? Is it a possibility it's going to grow back? Did you not do any permanent damage to my scalp follicles? Then I don't care what the haircut looks like.
In college, I used to do a 0 on my head, and I looked like Uncle Fester. So that was the worst haircut I ever did, and I gave it to myself. So.
Oh, I couldn't see you being like a man who looks good bald. I don't think I would be either.
I mean,
what is happening at your house?
oh, can you hear that? That's my brand new washer and dryer scenes. They both died on the same day at the same time. Is it terrible? I can stop the load. My wife thought it was appropriate to start doing laundry while I'm recording.
Oh my gosh. This is again, you got to put your foot down, right? You're a pushover.
You know what? I am putting my foot down.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You can't stop a washing machine once it gets started like that.
I do. It has a pause button.
Oh, well, that's just a way that's going to throw off the whole schedule. I have a schedule when I do washing and drying. Like, no, I got this timed out. I got 50 minutes.
Completely electronic. It's incredible. I can do everything from my phone with my washer and dryer. It's incredible.
I mean, that's great. Are you probably that? But how much extra did you pay to be able to press a button on your phone while you're in your house and not have to walk downstairs to do it? Because to me, if somebody said, "Hey, you can have this app that will control your thing for you," it's an extra $2. I'd be like, "No." You probably paid an extra $300 for that.
That doesn't make any sense because it's quite economical and helps with monitoring the loads.
Oh, see, that's just a lazy man. That's just a lazy man talking. Oh, I'm too I can't go downstairs. What do you need to do? You have that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. You paid extra for this? I'm getting upset. I'm getting upset.
First off, you act like I had anything to do with this. My wife ordered these. For you. It's not.
Did you pay extra?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't actually know how much they cost.
You probably have a subscription service that you've now signed up for, and you're going to get a bill that's probably set to automatic renewals for the yearly rate, and you're going to pay $100 a month and $100 a month for the dryer to do this. You have to go downstairs and manually put the laundry in and manually take it out and then put it into the other one and take it out. There's no reason for this to have any sort of interface with it. You have to do everything manually so that you can look at your phone and know, oh, thank God, I know I've got 5 minutes left on the wash cycle. It's a waste of time. You're getting suckered by the man.
I mean, it's actually beneficial, and I think it makes us more effective.
How? You still have to go down there. You can't just remember like, oh, look, it says 50 minutes on the wash. I'll come back in 50 minutes.
I mean, no one cares. And no one cares about this.
I'm
could go on.
Upset. I'm much more interested in this than your haircut story.
They're smart appliances. So for one, I can put in any kind of load I want and it balance itself out. I don't have to
did that
dry
already.
It. No, we had a washer and dryer from the 90s.
I mean, my washer and dryer is quite old as well, but it's just a washer and dryer, right? It'll balance itself. Why don't you just learn how to do it correctly?
It won't balance. Trust me, it won't balance itself out.
I think what this is that smart appliances create dumb people. You're heading down the road of not being able to even wash your own body.
I mean, I already can't reach half the places.
This is what I mean. Because you're the kind of guy, you're being lazy. I need the washer and dryer to tell me what I'm supposed to do at all times. Put the t-shirt on the left side and put the socks on the right side. Would you like us to it's all fake. No, that thing isn't doing anything that it wasn't doing before. I bet that those people at the washing machine company have a picture of your face at their store laughing at you. Like, I suckered this guy. I told him this was the newest technology. It's the same damn thing we've had since the 70s. Sold him the app for an extra $200 a year.
To be fair, once again, I didn't have anything to do with it. I wasn't even here when they got delivered, okay? So I have no idea.
It reflects on you. It reflects on you.
Listen, can we talk about the weather?
No.
It's supposed to be negative 32 degrees with wind chill on Friday in Michigan. That's Antarctica temperatures. What is happening to our country? Are we just going to freeze over as hell froze over?
Probably. I mean, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little cold outside. Little Johnny's going to have to you're going to have to wash some extra clothes. It's going to be a little cold on your little toesies, your fingies.
That's what I'm saying. That's unnecessary, and you don't need to do it.
I'm not afraid of negative 32. I'll be outside playing basketball.
I didn't say I was afraid of it. It's just that's pretty damn cold.
I mean, that is really cold. I've only been in negative. Well, is that the cold or is that the wind chill?
That's with the wind chill.
Oh, get out of here with that crap.
Baby, my balls are bigger than yours.
I'm not worried about the wind chill. I'm not worried about the what it feels like temperature. That's an excuse. That's an excuse for you to try to get some more sympathy. What's the real temperature? I don't care what the wind chill is. Don't care about it. That doesn't count. See. Right? That's an asterisk that you're trying to throw on there.
It's going to be negative 12 come 8 a.m. Friday morning.
Oh, who cares? That's easy. All day.
Okay. I mean, it's still cold. Like, I don't know. It's negative.
It's really cold. It's really cold. I have actually been in, Alberta, which is part of Canada. I mean, it's the province in Alberta. I was skiing, and it was negative 45. That was really cold. I was like, we should go inside. I'm not talking about the weather. I'm not doing it.
Let's give some shout-outs.
We talked about your haircut, your washer and dryer, and the weather.
See, what you don't know is I have a secret group of fans that we're just ticking off boxes, and so far I've been very successful on this podcast.
Well, that's
good. You to talk about the things you don't want to. Things that just make your skin crawl.
Oh, yeah. Like people who pay extra money for apps for their washing machine like you did?
I don't think it was extra money.
I'm sure it is.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's get shout-outs, please.
Okay.
Let's see. Carlene Davis, Nolan Duffy, Liliana Ochoa, Barton Love, Mabel Klein. Don't see a lot of Mabels anymore.
Don't see a lot of Nolans either. That might be the only. I only know one Nolan. I've only known one Nolan.
I know. I mean, I can only think of one, and he's 5. So,
okay.
Clifton Berger, Louisiana, Louisa Bentley, Jewel Norman, Marina Bullock, and Lindsay Ford.
I generally give you about 75% chance that you're pronouncing the names correctly. I feel like this one was probably closer to the 25 to 50%. Oh, but I polled the audience about the balding question. 0 to 25% of people said, all right, 14% of people said 25% chance or less. 30% of people say 25 to 50% chance. 47% of people said 50 to 75, and 9% said 75 to 100. So basically, I think that the game is up. People know that if you're wearing a hat, you're probably bald or balding.
I mean, I would say, once again, 75% is probably the right number. Like, I wear hats. I'm not balding. I just like hats.
I'm just saying that I think the majority of people wearing a hat are probably bald or balding.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Three quarters or so.
Okay.
All right, you ready for some more just I'll throw some random things out. You just give me your first thoughts.
Okay.
I got some real good ones for you here.
Okay.
Garden gnomes.
I like them. I'm okay with garden gnomes, right? I think they really add something to a lawn if done appropriately. Now, you can't have a ton of them.
Anderson Cooper.
Oh, is he still doing that?
Yeah.
I don't like, what's the point of still doing that? I don't understand people. If I made a lot of money, you would never hear from me again. Like, you're still doing that? Because you work in news. I used to work in news and was one of the reporters who kind of like, you go all over the country. You're never home. Like, man, you're still doing that? What for?
Because I think he makes tens of millions of dollars per year doing it.
But what's the like, at some point, like, at what point do you, if you have $50 million, what are you trying to buy with that you can't afford? If you're making what he's making a year, what are you trying to buy that you cannot afford? Like, what are you doing this for?
I think some would argue that, it's all greed, right? It's you don't want to stop because if you can get more, get more.
Oh, I would imagine that they're probably really what they like is the fame and the recognition. Yeah, like that's filling some hole inside of you.
All right. Anyways, Matt Damon.
I don't really know if I have any thoughts about Matt Damon. I still wonder if he really wrote Good Will Hunting.
It's supposed to be one word, just the first thing that comes to your mind.
What am I going to say? Like,
I don't know.
One
good
word,
actor.
Like stupendous.
Terrible
that's
actor.
Not one word. That's not one word.
Okay, one sentence, one phrase.
He's all right.
You are legitimately the worst.
I don't know what you want me to. Then you tell me next time. You tell me what you want me to say, and I will say that. No.
I'll give you another, and let's see what you do with this.
You're not tickling my pickle here, right? Okay, they're not things I think about all the time, right? I'm not really concerned about garden gnomes. I'm not really concerned about Matt Damon.
Okay, all right. Well, this one you don't think about at all, probably. But
okay, I'm not liking what's on your menu.
Goat skin condoms.
I don't really understand what the difference is.
I mean, I just think it's like
I'm not paying extra for it. I know that.
like
I'm a married man with 2 kids. I haven't bought a condom in probably 15 years.
I just didn't even realize those were a thing. So you
didn't know that? That's like supposedly the fancy one.
But like, what makes
goat
skin better than regular skin?
Maybe it feels better. I don't know.
Idea. I don't know. Why are you asking me?
I've been married for too long. If you could tell me whatever price the condoms were, and I would have no idea. If you told me the condoms were like 12 for $5.99, I would say, oh, okay. If you told me they were $500 now, I'd be like, wow.
Speaking of,
totally shocked no matter what number you gave me.
Speaking of your wedding, can I tell you a story that just popped in my mind that you don't care about, but I feel the need to tell you?
It's about my wedding.
It's not about your wedding, but it's about where we were for your wedding.
Oh, okay. Sedona, by the way.
Sedona. So my wife and I went kind of rock climbing, sightseeing, whatever. They have the red rocks there.
You did not go rock climbing.
Whatever. We climbed up some rocks that were tall.
You did not. No, you didn't. You walked around.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I took a photo of this rock. Come to find out, one of my school dads, one of my good friends up here in Michigan, 5 years later took the same photo from the same angle of the same rock.
I mean, it's a yeah. Like, you're shocked.
That's incredible. I'm shocked by that. That was insane.
I'm sure that people like when you go to a tourist area, people take the same pictures.
This is off the beaten trail.
Do you know how many people have the same pictures of like Moraine Lake, which is in Canada? Any tourist spot, people are going to have the same picture of it. Like, hey, wait, you went to Paris and saw the Eiffel Tower and took a picture?
Nope.
No way. Yeah.
See? Why are you're always so negative? Why can't it just be fate? I was supposed to meet this person. Like, it was the same picture. Same picture. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, it's not when you really think about it, though. Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to be the person who is going to sit here and tell you the truth. Other people in your life may lie to you. They may convince you to spend extra money on the washing machine app. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit here and tell you the truth that both of you having the same picture of a popular tourist place is not really that crazy.
Fine. We're moving on. Usha Vance.
I don't know who that is.
Usha Vance?
I don't know who it is. I mean, you can say, do you like, if you say it slower and louder, will I now know?
The vice president's wife?
Good for her.
Jesus Christ. No, never mind.
I understand the idea of being informed about society. I don't know if I really need to know who the vice president's wife is.
Kill me, Smalls. Kill me, Smalls.
I don't know who it is.
It's a whole thing because she's pregnant again, but people think that he's with Charlie Kirk's.
Oh, there's controversy here.
You know, nobody knows, like, you know, but it's this whole thing. But like usual, why wasn't you know anything about anything current event?
I guess I just wasn't paying attention.
It's fine. I should have known better. I wrote that down.
Raining on this parade. I know you were excited about your name. Your
was
one word thing. You were so excited. And I'm just raining on it.
It's supposed to be fun, and instead you answer it like an 85-year-old housewife with dementia.
Well, I don't have anything to say. I don't have any thoughts about the things that you put forward.
You know what?
I don't think about Matt Damon.
Fine,
I'm like,
fine. You know what?
The Martian was good.
Let's talk about Donald Trump in Greenland then.
I don't want to. Like, why are we invading? Like,
I don't want to talk about that. That's just
no one wants to talk about that.
I was in Canada for 3 days or so. And it was amazing. Nobody talked. There was no political ads. There was no, I don't know. Everyone was nice. It was refreshing to see that, you know, I don't think, and once again, I'm not trying to be political. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I'm not saying which side of the aisle I'm on. However, there was like, it was just like, you come back into America and it's like the cloud just sucks you back in. Like, it's crazy.
So I live in Seattle and we go up to Canada quite frequently, and you can tell the difference in the mindset of the countries. Now, it could be because you're on vacation, you're more relaxed, you're just not paying attention to those things. But there does seem to be something about the United States that it's a rat race. And
that's fair.
It doesn't feel like that in other places, that there's so much competition in the United States. And it seems like that people are much more frustrated and angry and just stressed out, and it doesn't feel like that in other places. It could be because you're on vacation. I think that certainly has to factor into it, but it doesn't seem like some other places are like that, and I would like for us to get back to that.
Well, hopefully someday after.
Trust old Usha Vance.
Oh my God.
Get her to do it.
Yeah, sure. I'm done. Let's just move on to
You don't have any more? Okay, give me another one, and then I'll try to be as happy and upbeat as you like. What's that other one you got, John? Tell me all about it.
You're gonna hate this. I already know. Mayochup.
What is it?
Mayochup? Mayo and ketchup mixed?
In a chip? Is it mayo chip? It's
Mayochup.
But I don't understand what it is. Is it a flavor of a chip? Are you not pronouncing it correctly? Do I just not know what it is? Or is it just ketchup and mayo mixed together in one bottle?
You know, there's a lot of stresses in my life. And for some reason, I just want to choke you sometimes.
Like hey, what's up, man?
Reach through.
Mom did what?
Computer screen.
Making chocolate lush?
And I want to
My wife's making
choke
some kind of fancy dessert.
Maybe smack you, but I can't.
Is she making it now? Oh, okay. All right. Well, Betty's doing something. Talking to Uncle John. Okay, so what is it now?
Mayochup. It's mayo and ketchup mix. I don't even. Can we just move on?
Sounds fantastic.
No, it's terrible.
I'm all about being efficient. I mean, there is not a lot of times when I'm putting ketchup on something and not also strongly considering mayo. So I think that have mayo and ketchup mixed together in one convenient location, that's an A in my book. I'm all about it. That's great. I love it. Bring me more of it. Bring me more of it. Why don't they mix? Like,
hate you.
There's not a lot of times that I'm not going to be. There is not a lot of times that I'm not going to be using mayonnaise if I'm also using ketchup.
Like, how after doing this podcast for 8 years now, or 7 years, whatever it is, How can you still just make me want to run my head through a brick wall? How?
That's what I do.
Like,
that's what I do.
I'm telling you.
Because I was interested in Mayo and not interested in Matt Damon?
It's nothing. I don't know. Whatever. Can we just move on?
Okay, so our top 5. It's John's throwing his fit. Check your app. How much time? What's the app say about your washer that you paused? What's it telling you?
I paused it so it stopped going.
What percent is the cycle done? Does it tell you what percent of the cycle done? Does it tell you how much usage it's doing? Does it tell you how much electricity it's used? Does it tell you how much water it's used? Is it providing you with any helpful information? No, it is not. You downloaded the app too, didn't you?
No, I don't have the app, actually. My wife has the app. And that doesn't mean I don't do laundry, by the way. She just has the app. I do not.
You're going to have to get the app. You're not taking it seriously. You're phoning it in. You need to put in some more work here. Okay. All right. So our top 5 is top 5 worst car model names. Like, why did they name this car that? That is a terrible name for a car.
So there are a lot that I didn't realize existed. I don't know how deep of research you did, but
I did go current car models. I didn't go stuff in the past.
Oh, I went all over the place. So
okay, well, good way to fuck it up.
I'm gonna start with the Suzuka Cappuccino.
First of all, it's Suzuki.
Yeah, Suzuki.
You said Suzuka.
Sure, I did, but it's Suzuki Cappuccino. Cappuccino. God damn it! I'm flustered.
And you're the one who gets frustrated. You get frustrated with me. You have the audacity to be frustrated with me. You can't say fucking 2 words correctly. You're gonna get mad at me. You're too worried about what I'm doing. Worry about what you're doing.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to get through this.
So what's your problem with the Suzuka Cappuccino? They're wordsmith.
Suzuki Cappuccino.
Cappuccino. Right?
Yeah.
Like the coffee. What is that like? What is this word? Refrigerator.
Anyways.
I've never seen this word before.
I just don't.
T-H-E. The?
Are you done? Are you done?
I am now. Yeah. Did you raise your hand in the...
Yes.
Did you send me you did in the chat?
Yeah, I did.
Getting frustrated. I didn't know you could do that. Go ahead.
No, please. You're number 5. Please.
No, I just want to know what does the car look like? If it's a little small Fiat looking car, I don't have a problem with that car being named the Cappuccino. It's actually, I kind of like it, to be honest with you. Actually, I like that a lot. I think that's great to be called the Cappuccino. It's like a Mini Cooper.
You should never drive vehicles that are named after drinks or food.
Okay. I kind of like the Cappuccino, honestly, if it's a little tiny zippy thing. Like it actually, it's really well. I actually really like it.
Of course you do.
Buy one. My number 5 is the Honda Odyssey. It's a minivan. You're not going on any Odysseys except for picking up the kids in the school line. Like don't try to make it fancy by naming the minivan the Odyssey like it's some grand adventure. It should be the Honda Boredom, the Honda Average.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I don't understand.
It's not an Odyssey. You're not going on an Odyssey. You're going to soccer practice.
Sure, I get. I mean, do you have a problem with Kia Carnivals too? Dodge Pacifica?
There's no Carnival in the Kia Carnival. Yeah, I know that you bought a minivan and you're sensitive about the minivans now, Biff.
I'm not. I'm not.
What do you have again? Do you have a Kia Carnival?
I do.
Does it feel like a carnival? Does it make you feel like you're going to a carnival?
Yeah,
because you're driving
all the time.
Circus load full of children around all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even know who's in the van. They're just random people in there.
Not even my children. Okay.
All right. My number 4 is the Proton Putra.
Okay. I did not know there was even a car named a Proton. There's a Proton? Or are you saying, is it really like Pontiac and you can't pronounce it?
Apparently, it is a Romanian car company.
I don't know if I would drive a Romanian car.
I would. We drive American cars.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I just don't immediately think like quality product when I think of Romania, but that could mean by me buying into stereotypes created by the media. My number 4 is a Hummer. Didn't really age well.
No, and frankly, they're just, other than for military use, like, they're just not practical vehicles.
Not at all. I don't think they fit in a lot of car lanes. Every person I know that bought a Hummer, the Hummer was like the test run for the Cybertruck. It's like, oh, people are going to buy this stupid looking piece of crap? Oh, they'll certainly buy this.
Yeah, they'll buy this other stupid looking piece of crap. My number 3 is the Honda Wow, and Wow stands for Wonderful Open-Hearted Wagon. And it was designed specifically for dog owners. The Honda Wow.
I don't know if I would buy a car specifically for my dog. Like,
I don't know
what? I was looking at this other car, but it's not designed with my dog in mind. I need to buy. What is it like? What does it have? What does it have that?
The back seat is foldable, and I think that is supposed to be Like, I think that's supposed to be okay. Like, it's fully foldable, and it's like completely flat. Like, there is no, trunk really, unless you have it up and it's kind of small. So I think that's supposed to be extra space for an animal, for a dog. Yeah, and there's like there's 2 extra windows in the back, I think, that are doggy windows, if I had to guess. But I haven't done any research.
I don't really have a problem with the name Wow. I have a problem with people buying a car because of their dog. Like, you can't adjust. You can't just adjust to you can't get a better vehicle. Not a better vehicle, but you can't get a more practical vehicle. Like, I need to have this specifically designed for my dog. Those are features that I really need.
I mean, it just doesn't make, I don't know, just Honda Wow. What makes it a wow? It's for a dog.
My number 3 is a Honda Civic. Civic has to be the most boring car name. Civic? You want to drive a car called a Civic?
I mean, it's boring, but at least you know what you're getting with this. It's like the Chevy Cruze or the Ford Sonic, which is kind of dumb, but like, you know what you're getting. Honda Civic.
It just sounds like the most boring, like, you're just going to get the most average car we could possibly find. The Civic.
I will say that when you say that, I immediately know who's driving a Honda Civic.
Exactly, right? You're like, I don't really have a personality. I drive a Honda Civic.
I read history books, and I smell of sweet mahogany. My number 2 is the Land or Range Rover.
Oh, yeah. Very pretentious. Very pretentious.
I feel like everyone I've ever met that drives one of those vehicles is a very pretentious person.
The Land Rover Range Rover is the souped up version of the BMW. Like, however you feel about BMW drivers, the Land Rover driver is worse. Like, oh, you're even more pretentious.
Yeah, by far. Not even close.
Yeah. Land Rover / Range Rovers are like D-bags mixed with pretentiousness. Like, oh, God. You drive one of those.
It's like driving a Dodge Prowler.
My number 2 is a tie between the Tucson and the Tacoma. As a person who has lived in Tucson and lives near Tacoma, those are not 2 cities that you want your vehicle to be named after.
What? I mean, why? Are they not safe? Are they not safe cars to drive?
No, they're just not the best. They're not good. Like, I've lived in Tucson. Tucson, I would not say, is a mecca of intelligence.
Okay.
And yet, people are like, Tucson. Because
Here we are.
Both of those are the second, because they're both named after the second-rate city in each state. Like, should we name it the Phoenix or the Scottsdale? No, name it the Tucson, because it's not good enough to be the main city in the state. We need to name it after the second or third best city in the state, because it's not good enough to be the first.
Okay.
It's like naming something at the Albany. The Toyota Albany. Because it's not as good as New York City or Buffalo. It's the Albany.
Yeah, or the Dodge
the
Seattle.
Detroit Grand Rapids.
Oh my God, we did the same thing at the same time.
Were you going for Grand Rapids?
No, I did Seattle.
Oh, for what?
Anyways, so this is not my number one, but I thought this was interesting that there was a car made called the Li Shi Guang Detroit Fish. It is terrible, but my number one, and I'm wondering if it's your number one. It's the Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is basically the worst vehicle ever created. I honestly point and laugh every time I see somebody with a Cybertruck. Like, you bought that? Right? Like, that is the biggest sucker on the planet, is the person who bought the Cybertruck. What's an ugly car, poorly named, that doesn't work very well? Let me pay 3 times the normal price for that.
Yeah, like, there's not there. I mean, we don't have one, obviously, but there's not one like redeeming feature from the outside of not owning one. Like, looking at one, there's not one thing where I go, man, I wouldn't mind owning one of those.
If I was a woman and my husband bought a Cybertruck, I would divorce them, because this is a person that clearly does not have taste or sensibility or any sort of foresight about the future. I would leave them.
What if you knew them for like 30 years and they were just going through a midlife crisis?
No, I would still have to. It had to be done. I would like to see a study commissioned on the divorce rate of Cybertruck owners. Because if I was a woman, there was no way I would be staying with my husband if they bought a Cybertruck. I'd be like, nope, I'm out.
I mean, there aren't really that many good car names if you think about it. Like, there just aren't.
No, there's a lot of them that are kind of bad. What else do you have in your honorable mention? I have a decent amount.
The Buick LaCrosse.
I don't mind that for some reason. It's not good. There's just a bunch that are kind of like,
Like really anything, like any Chevy name makes no sense to me. Silverado, Traverse, the Canyon, like, I don't know. Give it something with a little more meaning, a little more something. I don't know.
I've never understood. The Chevy Suburban irritates me. Because what's my goal in life? To live in the suburbs.
Yeah, I guess I have no idea why they call it a Suburban, other than it's as big as a Suburban.
That's probably why.
Sprawl.
I have the Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm pretty much just against naming cars after
Yeah,
cities.
you are. You really are. I didn't realize that. I don't like it.
Because I've been to those places. Like, I lived in Tucson, I lived near Tacoma, visited Santa Fe. Like, I just wouldn't name a car after a place that I've been to and been like, oh, that place isn't that great. The Impreza. That's a dumb one. Too close to impregnate. The Corolla.
Man, I'm okay with that.
Initially had the Mazda Bongo, and then I started to actually kind of like it. The Jeep Gladiator is also very stupid. It's the Gladiator.
This is defunct, but I have Astrovan on my honorable mention.
They don't make Astrovans anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think Chevy makes a van.
That's a shame. They make a minivan. How is your minivan, by the way? Do you drive your minivan around town?
It's great. It's really good in the winter for the weather we're having.
I'm leaving.
And I win.